Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. Isis, All That Glitters. The goddess next door takes on a bikini-clad bank robber in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, All That Glitters in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. A Florida nurse was arrested and had her nursing license suspended for allegedly participating in a sexual relationship with her 15-year-old stepson. Now, according to reports, 34-year-old Alexis Von Yates, a registered nurse, allegedly was arrested in November of 2024 for allegedly having a sexual relationship with her 15-year-old stepson who was visiting his father. And as he was visiting his father, this is where Alexis Von Yates began an inappropriate relationship with this 15-year-old boy, and the affair basically wound up getting revealed by the woman when the husband walked in on her having sex with the teenage boy. And eventually what happened was, as this happened, an anonymous tip was placed, and the police eventually did an investigation. And after doing their investigation, they then arrested 34-year-old Alexis Von Yates, and then eventually wound up, again after the arrest, she wound up getting her nursing license suspended for basically violating the policies as related to the oath she took to basically participate in care of people as related to her job. Now, the Marion County Sheriff's Office basically sees this entire disturbing incident as an isolated one, but when I take a critical examination of Alexis Von Yates' alleged behavior, it definitely fits the pattern and profile of feminist indoctrinated women that I talk about in my book, The Woman Crisis. Now, when I look at Alexis Von Yates' behavior, it fits several chapters of The Woman Crisis, including ones such as the sexual promiscuity of the feminist indoctrinated woman, the sexual deviancy of the feminist indoctrinated woman, and the crime and the woman crisis. And basically what's happening here with this woman, Alexis Von Yates, is the same thing that's been happening with white female teachers as related to a trend of participating in sexual predation on young teenage boys, where these older women look to pursue sexual relationships with these young teenage boys and look to participate in these relationships because what these women really want is power that they believe they can have over these teenage boys that they can't have in an interdependent relationship with an adult man. No, when it comes down to these women basically, what they want to do is be in a relationship with a teenage boy because they really do not want to be a part of the relationship established by God's order, where a woman has to submit to the authority of a man. And since they don't want to submit to the authority of the man that they got involved with, like Alexis Yates doesn't want to do, what they do is what they want to do is go out here and find a teenage boy that they can have the power and control in the relationship with, and the way they lead the boy is by looking to offer them a sexual relationship, and what they do is look to go out here and use their vaginas as a way to control these teenage boys who basically are immature and have no real understanding of how relationships work. Moreover, a lot of these boys basically believe that they're going to receive some sort of benefit as related to this relationship. They believe they're going to receive a benefit because the mainstream media has pushed the whole narrative of adult women pursuing sexual relationships with teenage boys as some sort of accomplishment. This is something that has been pushed in many movies since the 1980s, such as movies like the My Tutor movie and a couple of other movies where they have had older women having sexual relationships with actors who portrayed teenage boys. And this has also been pushed as a narrative in many pornographic films, where in the pornographic film, the stepmom is seen as it being appropriate for her to have a sexual relationship with a teenage boy, and this this normalization of this sexual abuse is what possibly motivates many of these older women to believe that there is an incentive to having these type of relationships. However, these relationships are not healthy and actually constitute sexual abuse. And they constitute sexual abuse because you have an older person who knows that they knows better, participating in looking to perform a sexual relationship with a child, because when a child is, even though they're a teenager, they are a minor, and again, it is inappropriate for an adult who is supposed to be a person in a place of power and authority to go out here and participate in looking to have a sexual relationship with a teenager. No, it's not appropriate at all, and the adult knows better, like here in the case of Alexis Vaughn Yates. Alexis Vaughn Yates knew better and knew about the law according to affidavits as related to statements that she made. She made statements saying that she knew that the boy was underage and knew that the boy was not old enough to have a relationship with. She said, "Oh man, I wish you were 18 because you're not old enough." This is what she said in one statement as related to things when she was allegedly having a sexual relationship with the boy on the sofa and the father walked in. And she also stated that the son reminded him of the father because he looked like him when he was younger. So she already knew that this relationship was not appropriate, but still continued to pursue it. Because basically what she wanted to do was go out here and have power over this boy. Moreover, what she wanted to do was go out here and maintain a way of looking to use her body to her advantage. Look to go out here and take advantage of this boy as related to this whole situation, where she thought she could go out here and have a sexual relationship with this younger boy, and also talked as she was going as they were having a situation where she stuck her tongue out him while she was eating whipped cream, and basically said, I bet everyone thought you were my little boy. So again, this is a woman who basically knew what she was doing as related to things, and knew what she was doing as she was doing as related to things. And basically, again, also told people she wished that the father had not caught them. Again, this woman willfully and intentionally was going out here participating in sexual abuse, and participating in the sexual abuse of this teenage boy. Again, telling him inappropriate things about how horny she was and how she had not had sex in 2 weeks. Again, these are all inappropriate things for an adult woman to tell a teenage boy. Again, this was a grown woman who knew better, and knew better as related to things, knew better as related to the inappropriate relationship she was participating in as related to this teenage boy, but still went on out here participating in this whole disturbing relationship, where she was, again, abusing this teenage boy. And I want people to understand that this is sexual abuse of a teenage boy, because this teenage boy does not know how relationships work. He does not know how to process the emotions and feelings that he has as related to the sexual encounters he was having with this woman. Moreover, he didn't have an understanding of even what he was participating in. He only basically knew sex from the sexual education he got in school, and possibly if he had access to pornography, but still didn't understand the context of the relationship he was having. He didn't understand anything about anything at all. And this 34-year-old woman knew better, and knew that, okay, I'm married to this man, and I need to be in a place of leadership, a place of authority, and I need to go out here and look out to this boy and look out for his own safety by setting a boundary for the way she interacts with this boy. That's what this woman should have been doing, but this woman didn't have any sort of intent to do that. No, she willfully and intentionally thought it was appropriate to do this, and it wasn't appropriate at all. No, not appropriate to go out here and again take advantage of this teenage boy, knew that the boy was underage, but still continued on in this whole situation. Now, what's even more disturbing than this woman, again, and her sexual predation and her participation in sexual deviancy, where she was looking to, again, get power over this boy, was the reaction from the father. The reaction from the father was even more disturbing because he basically was sitting there saying his son ruined his life, and that really shows me how immature this man is. This woman was sexually abusing your son, and you're thinking about how it's ruining your life because you can't get with the girl of your dreams or the woman of your dreams. But this woman was a nightmare going out here taking advantage of this boy. And I think the mother of this boy has a good case to get sole custody of her son. She's got a good case to get sole custody of her son at this point because of the inappropriate environment that he had basically fostered, because he didn't go out here and say, look, as you're my wife, and as my wife, you need to be looking at my son like the child he actually is. I mean, this is my son, and you need to respect those boundaries. And instead of respecting those boundaries as related to that relationship, this woman looked to cross those boundaries because she basically didn't respect either of these males, didn't respect the father as related to him being a head of the household and looking to submit to him. She didn't respect the son because she just basically wanted to use the son as a way to get her sexual gratification through sexual deviancy. And I go on to say sexual deviancy because the mainstream media for many years tries to make this look like it's some sort of accomplishment of a teenage boy getting with an older woman. This is what has been pushed in media for decades, and it's just recently that people are now calling it the sexual abuse that it actually is, and starting to actually see it for what it actually is, actually sexual abuse. And what's happening here is that now this woman basically went from being a married woman who had a good job to now basically throwing everything away because she has poor impulse control. But that can be seen from the alleged tattoos that were all over this woman's body, that she has poor impulse control. And I also believe that she possibly is being controlled by demons. I talk about this in The Woman Crisis because women who have tattoos, a lot of times they have demons inside of them driving them. And it looks like to me this woman basically has a demon driving her towards sexual deviancy and debauchery. And she's possibly gone from being a woman who was basically married to a man who was taking care of her to a woman who's now going to be on the road to being divorced and unemployed because she violated her Hippocratic oath that she took as a nurse. This woman took an oath as a nurse to protect people and take care of people, and was put in a place where she was supposed to care for people. But instead of going out here and looking to care for people, she looked to prey on this boy. And as she looked to prey on this boy, she wound up losing her nursing license, and she went from a woman who was working and making money as a nurse in a marriage that was, again, doing well, to winding up being a woman in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about the behaviors of women like this and how to identify this behavior to keep your child from being preyed on, you can pick up my book, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Woman Crisis on other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me make more videos talking about The Woman Crisis, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.